Hello everyone, this is Bhutani with Remax Excellence.
Hi everyone, this is Sid. I'm a mortgage specialist with Mortgage Alliance.
Welcome to our June 2020 monthly report. So Sid, let's talk about how great a month we had in June.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Things have been busier than ever.
Yes, so for our viewers, June has been one of the most incredible months we've had for a long time. Market was all over the place. We've had multiple offers. We've had homes sell like less than a week. And it's been just crazy compared to what we initially had in March and April, because of course with the COVID outbreak, March and April just didn't turn out to be that good for us. Usually every year we look forward to those months because it's the onset of spring. So anyhow, we will be talking about June statistics for the Edmonton region.
Right, Tushar. So I think the first thing for us to look at is how has the number of listings increased or decreased in the month of June as compared to let's say June last year, or let's say from May this year.
June, we've seen an increase of 22.17%. So
Wow.
our total number of listings have been 3,565. So that's month over month.
Right.
Compared to May,
Right.
compared to March, April, we've seen an increase of about 22.17%. That's
Wow.
huge.
Yeah, that's a big
And
number.
if you were to look into the year over year, it's about 16.50%. That's still quite a bit.
16.5% increase from what we
Year.
had in June last year.
That's right. That's how the listings have gone up. So yes, there are a lot of inventory options out there still. And but having said that, of course, we'll be talking about more stuff in detail. We've got a lot of buyers in the marketplace as well in the springtime. So this is good. We need stuff out in the market so we can sell.
All right.
And talking about sales now, Sid. So we have seen, if you were to compare May with June, we've seen an increase of about 77.27%. Now that's in terms of the number of sales that we've had.
Wow.
Now this number is a lot more. That's of course because May we were still recovering from the COVID. A lot of the businesses were reopening. We had the phase 2 open in May as well. So things were getting better, but again, it just took a little bit of time. But June was just
I know.
we were blown away looking at these numbers. Like 77.27% is month over month increase in sales.
Right, and how was it from June last year? Let's look at that number.
That's still 13.69% increase.
Wow.
So year to date sales is 6,967. So now that makes it about 13.69% increase.
So 13.69% increase from June last year despite COVID.
That's right.
Where would have we gone if it was, no COVID?
Yeah, these numbers have been very, very impressive. Like June has just turned around the market on its head, and hopefully, it will have more good things to come in July and August. And by the looks, right now, as we speak, in the month of July, it hasn't slowed down. Trust me, July numbers will be equally impressive, or in fact, could be even better than what we've had in June.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Like, the number of sales have gone up so much. So, what kind of properties are actually selling?
So let's talk about the selling price in different homes that we've seen, like single families, condos, and row housing and duplexes. So let's start off with the most popular product that's out there in the market, which is the duplex row housing.
Right.
Because the number of transactions, and I will be showing you some stats on the screen as well. We'll talk about the number of transactions that would have happened in the duplex row house price point. So coming back to the selling price, duplex row housing, the average price right now sits at about 329,000. Now month over month compared to what we had in May, we have still seen an increase of 1.27%.
Okay, so prices started going back up.
Yeah, and the year over year, yes, we have seen a little bit of a fall. That's minus 2.49%, and that has to do with, of course, last year we had no COVID. This year, because of the struggle that we've had with the pandemic and with us trying to work around it, 2.49 minus 2.49 isn't a whole lot. The effect that we've seen on a residential market has been in condos, which was predictable.
Right.
I guess the condos, like even if you look at the average price for condos, it sits at about 220,000, which is a fair number, Sid.
Right.
And month over month, if you were still to compare that with May, we've seen an increase of about 7.57%.
An increase of 7.57%
in condo
condos?
sales compared
Wow.
to May, what we had in June. So June has been incredible month for duplexes, for condos, and of course we'll get into single family very shortly. Year over year, as far as condos are concerned, that's a bit of a concern, Sid, and I have seen that time and again. Once we review all these statistics and monthly reports, month after month, condos we've usually seen a decrease in terms of sales.
Right.
But now, if I was to compare year over year, there has been a fall of about minus 7.57%, which, very honestly, Sid, is a bit of a concern.
Right. No,
Yeah.
that is definitely a point of concern.
Yeah, and then single families. Let's talk about the average price for a single family. It sits at about 423,000, which month over month is an increase of 2.66%.
So will it be right to say the prices have gone up from, or the average sale price has gone up from what it was in May?
Certainly it has.
Yeah.
So based on the numbers that we're looking at right now, it's 423 is the average price for a single family home. And as I said, 2.66% increase is what we've seen compared to May 2020.
And how about June 2019? Where are we?
Yeah, so year over year, there has been a slight fall, very minimal. It's like minus 0.09, which is nothing compared to this year, what challenges that we've had, what we've had to go through, every one of us, right?
Yeah.
So that's very minimal. Nobody will be concerned with that. And this number might get better as we go on into July and August.
Right.
We still have spring left, and I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot more good things to come. And moving on, we'll be talking about the days on market. So days on market is such a crucial thing for the sellers primarily, because when I go out for listing appointments, time and again people would ask me, Tushar, how long will it take for my house to sell? Now that's a question that usually we do refer to statistics, we do refer to numbers, but days on market is a big factor, especially when you have to move out of town or you're downsizing, upsizing, because you have to budget as to how long it will take for me to get out of my current place.
That's right.
And get myself and my family into a newer house.
Right.
So days on market, Sid, let's talk about single family first, since we were talking about the numbers. The days on market for this year, it has slightly gone up. So it compared to last year, 2019, it was 53 days. Right now, as we stand, it's 54. So more or less, it's about the same.
So and what kind of property are we talking about?
Single family, Sid, yes.
Okay.
So days on market from 53 of last year has gone to 54.
So a day is
nothing, right? It's about
despite
the same.
COVID. So
Yeah.
I'm sure if there was no COVID, I'm sure this would have been a lower number.
Exactly, yes, 100%. And then talking about condos. So condos, we've seen last year the days on market was 66. This year it's been the same, 66 exact.
So which
is not bad. Condos have been kind of just staying up there. This year has been much better, of course, than what we saw last year, especially with, of course, the pandemic that we're dealing with. Duplexes, we have seen the days on market has gone down, Sid, so that's good news.
Wow.
Not by a whole lot. We were at 66 days last year, and this year we are sitting at about 64. Right. So and remember, this is average, right? So we have seen a lot of other duplexes, or a lot of other. It depends on the location, depends on what you've got, what location you're sitting in, and what kind of upgrades you have in your house. But yes, duplexes have been selling faster. A lot of it might have to do with, of course, the mortgage rules that are getting a little tightened right now, the new rules that have come up. People are focusing more on a 350 to 400.
Right.
And as I said, we'll get into more of those numbers very shortly in this video. All residential, say, if you were to compare like single family, condos, duplexes to all residential days on market, we have seen they're about the same. They were at 59 days last year, and then 2020 we are still at about 59. So the good news is that with the challenges that we've had this year, time and again, I'm saying that primarily because we have not yet recovered from pandemic. We are still very much in it. We have seen the cases go up, but people are being positive out in the market, and we are trying to just take it as it comes. So 59 days, that's the all residential when it comes to days on market. That's just under 2 months. So that's not bad, Sid, by any means.
I agree. I was just about to say, so the market is pretty much similar to what it was prior to COVID. So even with COVID, if you're able to manage the same numbers or be in the same market, that makes me believe that Edmonton is a good market for real estate investments
It is surely. This is the time. The interest rates are at an all-time low, and there are still a lot of options out there. You just need to get out and shop around and talk to your professional, and I'm pretty sure whosoever it is will be able to give you more information out.
Right.
When it comes to average days on market, say month after month, like we've discussed numbers compared to what we had last year, but let's quickly see this on our screen. That's the average days on market from Jan, Feb, March 2020. So we have seen in January it was at 79 days. Typically that's standard,
right,
because of course it's winters. Not too many homes will be on the market in Jan.
Right. Post Christmas, I think. People are not really looking into it. So 79 days. Okay.
That's right. And in February we've seen that number come down slightly, 74 days on market. In March 2020 it came down to 60. Right, this was still pre-COVID. Yeah, and then in April again it went slightly up because people weren't out and about looking. We just had this new thing, so we were trying to cope up with the new social distancing rules that we had in place. And then in May again it went up slightly. The days on market were 66. But now the difference between May and June, as we have said, June has been just an incredible month. We have seen the days on market come down from 66 to 59.
That's incredible.
Right. Now, Sid, let's talk about the mortgage rates and stuff quickly here. Now, does that have a role to play in terms of the impressive numbers that we've seen in June so far?
I am sure it does. Along with the mortgage rates, some good pricing being offered, be it new home builders or be it people who are looking to sell their existing homes, combined, it is definitely a big factor on how the Edmonton real estate market is doing. And just because we're talking about rates, I think I should mention that we at Mortgage Alliance, we do have 1.89 on a 5-year fixed on an insured mortgage, which means that if you're paying less than 20% down payment, you can get an interest rate of as low as 1.89%. And with 20% down payment, the interest rate goes up slightly, but it's 2.09% as compared to way higher interest rates we used to have prior to that. I've got one interesting interest rate to share, and that is if you had bought an insured property, an owner-occupied property, let's say within the last 5 years, which is now a rental property, we can help you get that mortgage renewed at 1.89% for another 5 years. So, which is an unbelievable rate.
Yeah. So definitely good things to come. And as we have said in the past, if you are out and about looking to buy or sell, I guess this is the right time. This is the time of the year we all wait for, especially in real estate. Spring market always been the best, and this year has been no different. We have seen good increase in numbers. The reports have been very impressive, and we hope that it carries on in July and August. And in fact, even in fall, let's hope we don't see much of a fall. Usually there will be slight fall in the fall market in terms of numbers, but let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
For sure.
And so one last thing I wanted to quickly point out here is the fact, let's talk about the number of transactions compared to the price points. So we have seen the most, so you have that on your screen now. So you can see the most number of transactions that we've seen is 1,208, and that has happened between $350,000 and $400,000 range. So which we have said time and again, it has been the most popular price point right now. 350 to 400, that's the price point where you would mostly get row housing, duplexes, and then of course RPL product as well, which is a single family home with a detached garage. And the next one, you can see that on the chart, is 1,186, and that's for a 300 to 350. Okay. Right, and then the third one on the list is again more for townhomes. That's between $250,000 and $300,000. That's 890 transactions that we've seen in June. So as you see, I think I would say, looking at this chart right now, Sid, anywhere between 250 and 400, it's no more a buyer's market. It's a balanced market, truly. We have seen equal number of buyers out there compared to what we have got for options, and I have said that as well, that in June, whatever properties I was wanting to go and show to my buyers, you call the listing agent, you find out if that's available. No, it's pending, and I've heard that a lot. And that's just been amazing, because every time I was putting an offer for my client, either I was into a multiple offer or I was going in as a backup offer. So it wasn't that side. I mean, if you would look into disappointed. My clients were disappointed too, with the fact that they just cannot get what they really want and what they really like.
Right.
So, but anyhow, I mean that's good for me. I hope we can have these months time and again, and no complaints. I mean,
For
I'm
sure.
really happy with the way it's kind of going up.
Right.
And as we've seen on that chart, so when you start going up on the price points, you will see the transactions go down. So of course, a lot of my clients would also, or if I was to go out and talk to people, they ask me when they get to know I'm in real estate, they would ask me how's the market doing, and I would say, well, talk about the price points, talk about what kind of product you're really after out in the market, and if you talk about something between say 250 and 500 or 400, well, yeah, it's a good market.
Mm-hmm.
You better get on to finding something right away, otherwise there won't be any options left. But again, on the other side, if you go higher than 500, 550, 600, we still have our challenges in place. And I'll be very honest, we all have to admit that in the Edmonton market, we have seen if you go anything more than 450, 500, the average days on market will increase, and the same goes on the number of transactions too. Homes would be lesser in terms of like whatever the transaction sales that you would see out in the market.
Right.
So perfect. Sid, would you like to add anything else?
Not much. I think I would just like to end this video here by saying that, guys, July is no different than June, or if it is only for the betterment. We guys are busier than what we were in June, so it looks like we're going to have another promising month. If you guys are out there looking for a property, give us a call. We'll get you the best rates, we'll get you the best properties, and we'll get you happy.
Perfect. Thank you for watching our video. We will see you next month, and hopefully we'll have even better numbers to share.
Thank you. Have a good
Take
day,
care.
guys.